This is Moments with Foo with James Foo Torres, better known as Foo, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet, hear their stories, and get the most important business lessons they have learned on their road to success, and get exclusive advice on how to implement their success into your life and business. Moments with Foo is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Foo.
Hello and welcome to Moments with Foo. I'm your host, James Foo Torres, but you can call me Foo, hence the name of the podcast. And today I have alias Christensen, which he is the co-founder and director of operations of Blue Pig Web Solutions. And to tell you more about that, I have Alex here. So Alex, how are you?
I'm doing great. Really enjoying it here in Sacramento. It's a little overcast day, which I'm not going to lie, I'm really happy about. When you live in the state that has so much sun, I love weather. So I love a good, overcast or rain. So I'm hoping we get some rain showers today. But overall, I'm doing great.
So seems like we are kind of opposite on that side of things because I live in Oregon, and Oregon is always overcast like that. And I'm like, give me sun, give me heat. Like this has been heat lately, and I've been out in the boat with my friends and everything because there's no much sun in here. So I guess, even though we're not too far, it's crazy to, how the weather is so different.
I love Oregon because California, when it's summertime, people think like SoCal and everything's so green. No, I live in a valley, so everything is brown and dry. So I love Oregon and going up there during summertime because everything's so bright and green because you guys have so much rain and we're in this massive drought. So I am envious of you. I love Oregon. I travel up there all the time. So we'll have to meet up sometime.
Yeah, look, we just got to do like a timeshare thing. In summer you're here, and then when it starts getting rainy, I go over there.
Come down, enjoy the sun. You can kick it in the pool. We'll have a good time.
Oh my God, this is great. This is great. You see, this is that started already with value for me, at least, we're gonna do something. So perfect. So let's start this by giving a quick introduction and what do you do and why. Just give that to the audience, please.
No problem. As James said, my name is Alex Christensen. I am director of operations and co-founder of Blue Pig Web Solutions. My brother and I started the company back in 2017 to really focus on helping small businesses and startups. But as time went on, our clientele grew and the size of the websites and projects we had grew as well. So we really advanced into doing larger websites. I mean, before our average site cost was anywhere between $2,000 and $3,000. And now I think our average site cost is anywhere between $10,000 and $20,000. So it's really grown and adapted, but we really specialize in web design and development and then anything to help maintain and manage those sites afterwards. So rarely do we work with sites that we haven't designed and developed the website for because we want that knowledge of how their site is to really help market them with whether that be search engine optimization, pay-per-click ads, or whatever they need. So we really try and focus on the web design development side of things. And then afterwards, that just kind of helps work in the maintenance and management and helping them market afterwards. So why we started doing this was, I worked with a lot of web design development agencies. My background is in web design and development. And I worked for a lot of them, including UC Davis Medical Center. And it just got to the point where, a lot of these small businesses and startups were having a really hard time taking off. And they didn't know what direction to go in. They were hiring, I hate to, call them out, but 20-year-olds who had no experience, who just were good and charismatic, who would then sell them on the project and then they wouldn't complete it. Or after 6 months, they would have a non-operational website. And this has become very, it happens a lot. So a lot of our clients came to us because they had a website that was, part of my language, half-assed or just not operational. Like it just, it didn't work. So we really started working with them and yeah, it's been great. So we work with a wide range of clients, everything from small startups and businesses to large enterprises. So we have a huge range, but we have packages in between to really focus on each individual and help them.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love how you were so articulated about like what you do and why. So I really like that. And that's the reason that I started the podcast with that, because yeah, I want you to introduce yourself, but I'd love to finish up with that why, because that's really what pushes you to excel, right? So that's what I think.
I've always been really into web design and development ever since I was, in middle school. I remember starting with drag and drop builders, and I had no idea about code. I remember being in sixth grade and I was designing a website, which is a drag and drop builder. I had no idea there was FTP or code or anything in the other end. And then when I had an idea of something I wanted to do, I started looking into it. And that's when I learned about code and my mind just exploded. I was so fascinated with the aspect that you could have an online presence reach the entire world with a single click of a button. I mean, it's faster than radio, TV, phone call. It's there and it's instantaneously acceptable across the entire world. So after I learned about code, my mind just accelerated into I want to absorb and learn all this. And so I was really, I love it. It's so, I've had a big passion for web design development and cooking. Cooking, great hobby. I can do that anytime. I do it every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But web design development, that's something that's always fascinated me on a whole nother plane. And I think turning that into, from my culinary side, working a lot of small businesses, small restaurants and stuff, and realizing I think restaurants are an easy target because they have a lot of hard work, not tons of profit, but they're also, a lot of their websites suck. Sorry to say, but a lot of their websites suck. But nowadays it's kind of turned into, you go on with some of these websites and they suck, and it's kind of, you get a little bit of nostalgia feeling like, ooh, I bet their food is really good though. You get less of that corporate feel. So taking on some of those clients and really trying to be progressive and work with that design so it's still nostalgic but progressive, that's really fun to us. And so I'm proud to really help these small businesses and startups to get an online presence where they can grow and still, have that target demographic that they're looking for without being outdated. Yeah, there's a lot. I could talk forever, so I'll keep it short.
This is something that I just want to say, like a small comment on like, it kind of resonated with me, like the nostalgic and stuff, because like I know, like, okay, after food, like, the food is a priority. So like the fulfillment, right? Like the food is the priority. The website is usually like, oh, at the end we're getting clients, like whatever. But now like coming in and like helping them out and be progressive is still keeping that nostalgia feeling. That's something I can relate a little bit, because being in PR, there's a lot of that like nostalgic, like all those names that you already know, like, and trust, like all those different things, and people doing things certain way that is like their traditional way, but now bringing it in with, look, we're keeping your tradition, we're just helping you to impact more people, to amplify that impact that you're having by leveraging not just getting in the media the traditional way, but also like different ways that there's offered, like, podcast is a new way to get in the media and all that, and then how to make the most out of it on the redistribution side, how I like to call it, which is not just like sitting in your ass and waiting for people to call you. Let's be intentional about this. Let's put it on email, let's put it on social media, let's put it on ads, and maximize the ROI and impact. So definitely I can relate to that. And just to like, this takes me to the next section, that what I want to talk about is, do you have any tips or advice to either business owners in general or people that would like to do what you do?
Honestly, yeah, I think this is something I talk a lot about, and I've talked about on a lot of podcasts and my own personal videos and a couple conferences. And it's something that I heard a long time ago, and I think it was at a WordPress conference that I spoke at. One of the speakers talked about this, and it's really resonated with me. And I remember that was a turning point in my company. I was in massive amounts of debt from starting an agency. I had that mindset of, it takes money to make money, which is true, but I kind of hate that because people think like, oh, I got to just throw money at stuff and I'm going to make it. It's not that. It's definitely not true. I feel like it's less external and more internal. Instead of throwing money outside of your company, you need to throw it inside and really understand, like, when you start a company, you're wearing I don't care if you're a single person, two, or a group, all of you are going to be wearing multiple hats. You could be web design developer, account manager, HR, accounting, bookkeeping. Like, you're wearing all the hats. And I think that's what happened with me. I became overwhelmed. And I started making poor decisions when it came to my finances. And that was me. On my end, I'm not an accountant. I'm much more in the side of web design development, marketing, and sales. That's where I accelerate, is working one-on-one with the clients. My brother, who's also the other co-founder and my partner in this, he has the finance background. So he really helped come in and create the contracts and the accounts and kind of get everything in order. But I was still really heavily involved with the day-to-day, the client facing. And I think a lot of people think that having all these hats and wearing them all is, key. Like, that's awesome. It's like you want to understand every aspect of your business. And that's true to a certain extent. And why I say that is because if you don't know something, hire someone to do it. You don't have the time or capacity to even learn all that knowledge for each individual department. And so for me, that was accounting and bookkeeping. Until I hired an accountant and bookkeeper, I was just flushing money down the drain. Didn't know what subscriptions I had going on. Like, I had probably, and this is a personal side, but I had like 2 Hulu accounts going on. I didn't even know it. I had been paying for both of them for years. So until I got an accountant and bookkeeper going on, it was just chaotic. We were still very successful and doing great revenue, but I didn't realize how much money we were actually just flushing down the drain or wasting when we could have been saving that and using it for marketing and expansion. So my biggest, I think, takeaway from this is, if you don't know something, hire someone to do it, because they have the knowledge and capability to help you and keep you organized, so that way you can focus on what you know about, what you're passionate about, and what your specialty is. So that way, everything is in order. They can help build you up and make sure you're on track. So if you don't know something, hire someone to do it. That's the biggest thing I learned in the past 5-6 years of, running this company is, really look for the expertise that's out there. And I just want to take a quick note is we take that also into our web design development. Is, say we're building a website and we're developing it and it has to integrate with a certain software or API. Sure, my team can do it. They'll take X amount of hours to go out there and learn the system so they really know it. Or I can outsource 1 or 2 web developers who have worked on that and know and understand it, and bring them on board, so that way we can continue to progress through the project and have everything done right, because we have the expertise who has worked with that in the past on our team. So we have our dedicated team, but we outsource and work with other developers all the time, because, again, why waste that time of training a whole team when we can bring someone on that has that knowledge, especially when it's something so niche that you might only do 1 or 2 websites a year with that. So, stick in what you know and really try to learn that, and then hire everyone else to manage the aspects of the business you don't.
That's amazing. That's amazing advice, because I can relate a lot again with, business owners, entrepreneurs. We're going through this journey, and it's very similar in the big picture, because this first, like hiring an accountant, for example, right? Like, just having to come up with all these things, and what's happening, the subscription or whatever, and taxes and all these different things. Definitely something is a great example. And I love how you brought like that other example of, look, like, if we bring you in, we're not gonna try to force something that we're not the experts in. If we need help, we'll bring somebody to help us with this very specific thing. And after it's built in there, then now it's like, okay, we can take it over from here, and we know that the base is strong because someone that is an expert on it worked on it. Then from there, now you can do great, because you brought the right help. And on that note, I just want to say that I've been saying this a lot. It's like, do what you do best. Focus on what you do best and hire the rest. That's 100%. What I was going to say.
Exactly. That's 100% true. 100% true. And with me, I kind of had trouble with that, because my background is in web design development. So I had trouble pulling myself away from the project, but I still make a point to at least take a view and look at it. So I want to stay in connection with my teams. I don't, put myself out there to stop them. I'll give my input or advice, but I don't hold them up. And I think that's a really important thing as well, especially if you're a business owner that has experience in the industry, as meaning doing the work. Because if you do PPC as SEO and you're used to doing that, now you're running an agency, you want to dive in and start doing it. And I think micromanaging can toxify a lot of the relationships between your teammates. And so you got to put a lot of trust in them and understand, like, this is why you hired them, is because they love doing it as well. And you believe in them. That's why you hired them. So let them do their job and everything else will fall into place.
Definitely. That's something that I'm experiencing too. I've been growing my team, and I've been focused on, like, hey, like, you guys have to be self-directed. Like, I will come in and this is our priorities, this is what we have to do, but come in with innovative ideas, like come in with your own style of things, and I'll let you know if it matches what the vision is and where we're trying to go with the client. But like, feel free to be a leader, to come up with initiative, to be an entrepreneur inside the company too, like, because like, I'm always open for new ideas and new points of view, because sometimes I'm hiring for you to actually become the leader of that. Like, I'm handing it out to you. It's not, yeah, I'm overseeing the company, but I want you to be like, this is yours. Like, take ownership and
I want my team to criticize me. I want them to criticize my choices and decisions, because it's going to help me understand why I'm making them, but it's also going to help them understand why I'm making them. And maybe they have better ideas that actually are better than what I'm thinking, or will adapt to that. So I'm always telling us, like, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you think this will work, or if it doesn't work, what your fears are about it. And we can always talk about and discuss that. I don't want my word to be the final word. I mean, I know eventually it's going to be, but I'm only going to step in when I think that is the absolute right decision. Otherwise, trust in your team and let them do their work. And I agree 100%. You got to step in, and only step in, when needed, but just let them, give them praise and let them know that they're worth it. And my team, I think, has a lot of that dedication because of that. And I let them know it. I wouldn't be where I'm at without my team behind me. I would be working night and day on these projects and just have no life. And with them, they mean the world to me. I love them to the bottom of my heart. I will go out. There's been times when times are tough, like with COVID. I went out and had to go shop on a little bit of the low end field of groceries, just so I could make sure my team was well paid and was motivated to keep working, especially during these tough times. And that's where I think you got to really think about the people who work for your company as well as your clientele, because you're not the only one that you're supporting.
Definitely. That's something I have in mind all the time. And I have clients that are in the HR space, and I follow that space of hiring, because obviously I'm hiring. So
yeah.
I'm always having in mind, this is people's life at stake in here. And I am not here to just get a contractor and like do this little project and leave. Like, I'm done with that. Like, if I need the help, I'll do it. But my priority is to make team members that will stay, because I will invest a lot in you, a lot of time, a lot of knowledge, and I'll lift you up many ways. And I even help them to build their own personal branding, so that way when they grow their authority, they also add value to my company, and then they can have side things or whatever, right? I'm encourage them to have it, because when they feel, damn, I'm getting so much knowledge and so much support in here, like, why would I leave if I can even write a book and stuff and have side things and I'm getting support? And brings quality of people too, because now their authority is higher. When they talk to people, they connect to people on LinkedIn and all that, they can bring like higher quality people. Because for me, like, one thing is, like, I think that everybody in my company, in a way or another, should be a salesperson in a way or another, right? Because you're representing my company, and everything that you say, you're an advocate of my brand, because you represent my company. So that's why I say, like, look, raise your authority. So when you're talking about our company, people are like, see you and then see the company and it just has such a high value, high level of authority. So definitely, I love how you are leading your team. Seems like you're doing great things, and they're probably super happy with you because you have a great attitude. So
we're very connected. I mean, we talk outside of work as well. I mean, I'm connected with a lot of them over WhatsApp or just Facebook Messenger, and we hit up each other over the weekends and see what they're doing. Like, I'm a very personal person. Like, I want that with my clients as well as my team, because I want to get to know them. I want to feel like we're a family and friends, so that way, you have a little more of that loyalty. but I don't want that loyalty to be brought on just because we're friends. I want it to be brought on because I'm taking care of you. So there's definitely a balance between that. And like I said, I wouldn't be anywhere without my team, and I love them. They are amazing. I have a great team behind me. I absolutely do. And it's been, I think this last year, we really brought in some people that I'm in love with. Like they're some of my best friends now, and it's been a huge shift in the company culture where we're helping each other out. We're all spitballing ideas to help progress, and I don't think any of them think like, oh, we're helping you make money. They're thinking we're helping growing this company. Like they're all part of it. We're all a family of Blue Pig. It's just not you work for us. No, you're part of Blue Pig, and that's it means a lot to me.
Yeah, that is something that I tell my employees too. It's like, this is our company. Like when the company grows, we all eat.
Yep.
We all eat from it. It's not like you're helping me. No, you're helping Imperial Authority, which is helping a lot of people to eat, and it's amplifying the impact of positive people in this world. So it's not just money. It's not just like, how can we grow a business? Because me being in PR, being also Imperial Authority, being a PR firm, we have a thing that we're amplifying the reach of people in the authority. Like that is a big responsibility. It's a big responsibility because not everybody deserves to have millions of eyes on them. So I have that power, but I have to do it with integrity. And I need to pass on to my employees to know, look, what we're doing is bigger than us. Like this is 100%. Bigger than just business. Like this people that are changing lives, that we're helping them change more lives. So that's why like the purpose, it's strong for us.
We work with a lot of nonprofits, so I completely get that. I think we have like 4 or 5 nonprofits right now, and we work with them a lot. And we kind of go out of our way to help them because the impact that they're doing on our community, and through the work that they do. So I completely, I get that 100%.
So
integrity.
I love it. I love it because we have very similar vibes, and that's why I was super looking forward to this. And you're coming from the community of Kelly Gordon, and Kelly Gordon is somebody that I love, and she was like the last recording before this one, and it's cool that that connection of how you connect with someone that you resonate with, and then like they usually attract people that you also resonate with, and I love community. Community is big on me, and I do notice like I'm always like keeping in touch some way, and like keeping everybody like together that is in my network, because I'm all
keep
about
that network in touch. And I think a lot of it has to do with people just want to build out their network, and it's like to a certain extent, but I think you want to have a closer net that are people that you check in with and you're actually communicating with, because a big thing is like you're only going to be as successful as the 3 people that you surround yourself with. It's something like that along the ways. And I think that has to do with not only just friends, but also the people that you communicate with. And I think that's why you still have to have this close net of friends and network, because like you and Kelly, like there's so many people that I want to stay in touch with, and we've become friends. Like it's been more than just, we are all in the same network. Like, no, we're a group together because she's brought this common, struggle between all of us that we're just starting out, and then we have all built it up, and now we stay in contact and connected, and when either one of us has help or needs help or having trouble, we're there for them. And I agree. I think especially with the Kelly Gordon community, entrepreneurs, cyber inferno, it's been tremendously. I check it every day, still in contact with Kelly every day. It's been fantastic, and that's how you and I met. Like, and it falls right back in. Like if you don't know something, hire out. And that's where I kind of needed to learn myself. And Kelly's really helped push me and do that. So I'm really excited to listen to her podcast too.
Yeah, that super good. Trust me, that we killed it. Like I was super happy about how that turned out. Like the vibes, the value, immaculate. So
she really does a great job.
Yeah, she's so sharp. She's so sharp. Man. She's so sharp.
Right? Like I'm so envious. She's like on it every time. I'm like,
that's what we invested on her.
Right down. Yeah.
That's why we invested on her, because it was like we talked to her and she's just like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
It's just like so sharp, and it's like I want to be like
She's
that.
real.
You know?
She's
Yeah.
real. She doesn't have an ego about it. She only takes on the clients and group members that she connects with. It's not like I'm just trying to make money. No, I want to make sure I'm bringing on people that I connect with, so we're not having this bad relationship.
So let's start wrapping this up a little bit by talking about what do you think are the biggest takeaways that you give the audience in this podcast?
The biggest takeaways would be, do what you're passionate about. Hire out what you don't know, so that way you can continue doing what you're passionate about, and really take care of your team. I think, if your team is happy and you're really supporting them and you're communicating with them, they're going to go the extra mile 100% to make sure that your business is successful, because they want to be successful.
I love it. Love it. And we went very deep into all this, and
We did.
Yeah, I love how I like kind of like getting all together. So, there's so much information that is good to do a quick line of what are the biggest takeaways, because we learned so much information. The audience is probably gonna be overload. So that's why I like to say like, hey, like,
I talk
at
a
least
lot.
take these
Yes.
things. So that's why like I always like doing that takeaway, so at least people can be like, oh, right, like we were talking about this. So you go with the thought provoking, ideas. Like I want people to get out of this podcast and feel like I need to think about something, or even learn more about them, or like just something that is really valuable. Like get value here and get more, like, to go almost, right?
You need a little recap, because some people get so sucked into the information that I think they actually forget about the information they heard. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. I was so sucked into this part that I kind of blurred out the other parts. And it's like, you need that recap, like, oh, yes, okay, that was good information.
Yeah. And now I have like one last question. Do you have anything to promote? And well, I guess two questions. So, and how can people find you?
No, awesome. So we just started our new Red Cape plan, which is geared towards small businesses and startups. And it's a monthly subscription that includes custom web design and development, hosting, maintenance, and management. So everything's included. We design and develop the website. We maintain it. We do all the edits that you need done, so you don't have to worry about anything. You can focus on your business. We can focus on maintaining your web presence. So that's something I really want to promote, because it's something new. And I think it's really going to benefit a lot of industries. And if that's something that interests you, or you want to learn more, you can always follow us at bluepigweb.com or any of our social media channels, bluepigweb.
Awesome. And we're gonna be working together. So like we are gonna have Blue Pig everywhere. So that way you can find it anywhere in the media, social media, you name it. Like we're gonna have, like now with this podcast. So I love the branding. I love the name. I love the little like motion thing that you do with the blue pig just going like I love it.
So little jump and fly through the air. Yeah, we want people to soar. Like that's kind of where the idea came from. Like let's soar to success together.
Perfect. And I can't wait to start positioning that everywhere, like because it's such like attractive that I want to get behind it and put it everywhere. So that's gonna be amazing to for us to do some things together, because I think we can do some very cool stuff together. So thanks for taking the time. Thanks for taking the time to be with me and have this conversation and add value to the audience. This is gonna be posted under the Strategic Advisor Board podcast that is growing exponentially. So this is something that I know that will help some people, some business owners out there, and hopefully they can connect with you because you're an amazing person. And very knowledgeable. So
I'm always available. If people want to contact me, it's alex@bluepigweb.com. I'm always here to, not just sales. If you just have questions, I want to make sure you're on the right path. I think that's something that I'm really passionate about, is if it doesn't work out between us for Blue Pig, I want to at least point you in the right direction. Or at least help you along the way, so that maybe hopefully down the road we can work together. So 100%, I'm all about, helping people out, other business owners, and really making sure everyone has a little bit of that success.
And on that note, I want to say that I really like how you were like put your person out there. And one thing that I do personally and I like to promote is that make in business, it's very, very important to make strong, genuine personal relationships. And that's, when you lead with value and you just look, I just want to talk to you. I have value that I offer because I'm an expert on blank, right? Like in PR, you're in web design, and just lead with value advice, and then everything is just gonna come full circle. So that's the thought.
Will testify to this. I am far from a salesperson. I just want to have a conversation and figure out if we can help each other. That's it. Like, here's what you need done. Here's what we can do for you. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I don't want to try and sell you on something that you're not happy with or that you don't need. We have a lot of clients come to us like, hey, I want this, X, Y, and Z. And if I might disagree, I might tell them, but if that's what they want, that's what we're going to do for them. Down the line, if that doesn't work, then I'll speak up and give them my 2 cents and say, I think this is going to be the better course of action. So you're right. It's about creating those personal connections. That's going to be the biggest thing. And I'm very personal. I love to talk, love hanging out with people and just getting one-on-one.
Definitely. That again, I guess Kelly just gets about the same time of people together, right? So,
100%.
Because I tell everybody that it's like, I don't consider myself a great salesman. The only reason that I sell is because I make strong personal relationships. And then from there, they already know, like, and trust me. And then if I put a deal in front of you that the numbers make sense and that's what you want or need in your business, that's it. You'll take it because you already trust that I, as an expert in PR, I'm suggesting the right things. You already know, like, and trust me. Numbers make sense. Let's do it. And it seems like you do the exact same thing.
98% of our business is all word of mouth. 98% is all word of mouth or recurring clients. Like, it's once they're with us, they stick with us because, we're communicative. We know what we're doing and we don't try to sell them on things that they don't need, or we're going to help them out.
Perfect. So
about being a good person, right?
Yeah, exactly. Good person. So that's exactly on the note that I want to end up this episode. It's just doing good is good business. It's that simple. Just be good person every day. Just work like hard, and then before going to bed, you look at yourself in the mirror and it's like, I did the best that I could today, and I was a good person. Then everything else would just flow, and that's something that I've been learning and applying to me. It's like, look, just because with being an entrepreneur, being business owners, there's so much things happening, and that's I want to leave this podcast with that note. Like, we're all struggling in different ways. We all have past soft stories. We all have a lot of problems, but just do the best you can today. And then tomorrow do the same, and that's it.
Don't let it bring you down tomorrow. Like, refresh, look yourself in the mirror, tell yourself you did a good job because you did the best you can, and move on with your day. That's the best thing you can do.
Perfect. So on that note,
awesome.
Thanks for being here. I really think this is value pack, and this was a good time for me. So I enjoyed it, and I look forward to have more conversations with you and see how far can you launch with Blue Pig. And I'm gonna have a year anniversary interview that I'm planning now with everybody that I'm interviewing now, that to see what we are at in a year. So the audience will see you in a year, and I'm excited to see what we have to tell them in a year.
That's awesome. I can't wait. That'll be fantastic. I'll give everyone an update on the Red Cape plan and see how much it's grown.
Perfect. So this was Moment with Fu. This is Fu signing off.
Thanks for listening to Moments with Fu with your host, Fu. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest business advisement on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we will see you on the next episode.